Hey guys, that's been a long time since I made a podcast, but I've decided to make it like more podcasts. I've just been really busy. Uh, I often got a question because, by the way, I'm an ex-police officer in Scotland. Um, yes, I've been asked so many times about feedback. What do I think? Would I recommend it and stuff like that? But I'll tell you my experience and what I've seen, not what I've heard. What you've heard is always a lot of gossiping and stuff like that. So and you will hear some, noise and stuff like that because I'm driving. Yes. So my experience is like when I started police, like obviously you had to go for 3 month and a half or something like that. I forgot. In Tullyallan College. So when I went there, probably they're not gonna say anymore because I'm gonna tell you what two female used to say. The first day, actually, they introduced themselves in the classroom. They came. I would love to give their names, but honestly, but anyway, they came in the classroom and they were saying that there are some of you we will like, some of you we won't like. Like, they are supposed to be teaching and they are telling you if they're gonna like you or they're not gonna like you and this stuff like that. So, which is ridiculous. So, and then what I've heard as well is like, oh, by the way, you don't need any qualification. You don't need any diploma. You don't need any bachelor degree, any certificate, anything. So you can be like a farmer, you can be a carpenter, you can be a fishmonger, you can be any job. Like really, you can be even jobless. You can go and you will get the job. Like if you're good in fitness, even if they like you, even if you fail this, you're still gonna go through. Trust me. But me, I've always been fit. I've always been, so I had no problem in it. But anyway, there was those two female who came in the classroom once, and they were saying that some of you we're gonna like, some of you we won't like. So don't be offended. Things that they were not supposed to be saying because they are supposed to be there to teach. Okay, so yes, and that's true. They will hate you, some of them, the teachers, but you won't see. I mean, to be honest, I'll tell you what. If you're a hypocrite, like if you know how to hide things, like you know how you love people, like how you hate people sometimes, but you talk to people with a smile on your face, and they wouldn't even know if you hate them. So hypocrite. You talk to people that you hate, and then behind the back you talk about them. So, but anyway, yes, that job is made for you. If you are, well, I'll tell you the whole story, and then I'll let you decide really, and I'll tell you what I think. So then I've heard that I was studying like hard. Every time the class finished, I'd go straight in my room. I wouldn't go drinking. They would go drinking. They would, like a lot of all students really, like most of them, they would go drinking, they would go partying, they would go this, they would go that. Me, I would be in my room, study. And so I've heard that you don't have to pass the exam, because they have like exams, and a few tests, I forgot how you call it. They're not simple tests really. I was told like you don't have to pass the exam, you're still gonna become police officer. Because as you're a police officer, they will still send you to do those tests or exams or whatever they are. So I confirmed that, and I was told that yes, that's true. So I decided to stop studying. So I was literally failing all the exams because I didn't care anymore, because I knew I would become a police officer and I knew I would be a good one. By the way, as well, my background is I used to be in US Marine. I was a captain, but I knew I used to be a prison officer as well. I've done many, jobs, like in the law field, but I always passed my exam. Don't get me wrong. So yeah, so I didn't care really. I didn't care, so I knew I would be a good police officer because you see, exam that does not. A lot of people would agree with me. People won't. There's a lot of people, as we all know, like a lot of people go to, they study, they get master degree and this and that, but they're not smart at all. They're smart on papers, but they're not smart at all. Then when you do the job, they can't do the job. They're on papers, like they study, they memorize it, they go to exam, they pass it, but it doesn't mean they're good at it. Okay, so I've completed a lot of missions in my life, a lot. Okay, so I knew I would be a good police officer, and police officer here, it's like it's not a big of a deal really. If people tell you, "Oh, trust me, it's busy," trust me, but I will tell you, trust me, it's not busy. They are not busy. Okay, they are not busy. I can tell you when I finished my 3 month and stuff like that, but the 3 month was hell. I'm a foreigner. I went through, honestly, racist and you name it, But I stayed quiet. I wanted to quit, but there was a guy who always he was kind of encouraging me, like, "Gee, it's fine. Just keep going. Like, you can do it. You can do it, mate." So, and I'm like, yeah, why not? So, he made sure that he actually beside me to encourage me and this and that. But yeah, so being graduated and whatnot, name as police officer, I got my station, went there, finished from Turi Island College, which was hell. Teachers hated me, for no reason. Like, there were even police officer there, tutor, lecture, whatever they are. They even reported me for things I haven't done. I had a friend. It was, well, not a friend, a guy, a student that was in the same class as me. When I didn't know it was him, so I was telling him this story, or like they blame me for something I haven't done. I don't know. And the guy was like, "But it was me." So he was so angry that he literally woke up their office and he gave out to them. He said, like, the guy has nothing to do with that. It was me. And they didn't take any action against it. That was a total discrimination. But they didn't take any action because obviously the lad was white, I'm brown, the lad has hair, I'm bald, and the country different. And I'm tall as well, 180, and the guy was like 190. It's like, and where I was sitting was on the first row and the lad was sitting on the back row. So, it's like the police number, like the epaulette number, the name, the size, the length. Like, I mean, honestly, how could you get it wrong? There were so many differences between me and the guy. So that's to show you, like, how people, like, police officers, they hated me. Even my teachers, like, only one, no, two. So we had 3 teachers. 2 of them, they were best friends. So they hated me for no reason. Haven't not done anything, whatever. I was the only color in my class. So they hated me. How so many times they told me, like, they're gonna help me, but I didn't need help. I didn't want to pass the exam. I was just going without studying because there was no point. Me, I wanted action. I wanted to change. I wanted to protect. I wanted to serve. My thing is not paperwork because I'm qualified. I have PhD in accountant, architecture. I have bachelor degree in criminology and law. I have bachelor degree in cybersecurity. I don't need help. But I used to study for pleasure, for fun. So then I was like, but this one, when I was told, like, you don't have to pass to be a police officer, right? You're like, who cares then? Because I don't want to pass. I don't want to study. I just want to be there for people, to help people. Because when I was in the job, I was working with police officers supposedly to teach me. Literally, I was the one teaching them, and they were in the force for like 12, 15 years. I was the one teaching them to check cameras. They didn't have enough common sense to how to ask questions, how to check them, about the time. It's like the whole, because, see, like I said, I was in US Marines, so I completed a lot of missions. What I was sent for, I was a captain. I was doing my job. I was supposed to. I was meant to, right? So anyway, when we had to go. Doesn't matter if somebody ran away from their houses, or somebody got, doesn't matter what it is, or a car got stolen, stuff like that, I will be there. I will get the car. I will find the person. It's always, when they were working with me. But I never got any credit for it. Because why? Because I was on probation, and those who was working with me supposedly were meant to teach me, And then police officers, what I've noticed as well, a lot of them, they don't want to work. Like, look at them. If you ever notice, they're on the side of the road, supposedly patrolling, check the speed limit and whatnot. They're checking their phone. Cars are passing them 120, 130. No, you don't even see them on the road anyway. They're on the station, and when there is no job, because they don't want to patrol. If they patrol, they don't even look who is doing what. If ever they stop a car, it's just for them to fill up a paperwork to show that they actually been working, because it's been 3 days they haven't done any paperwork. So they have to do something, or else in the office they're gonna start asking questions. How come this team? Because they're different teams, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever. They will be asking question why there is no. Why you are telling me that there is nothing? They didn't catch no one. Even when I was on probation, there was that police officer. Honestly, we were just supposedly patrolling because I wanted to patrol. So we were driving slowly. There was a car in front of me, and there was only one number on it. No, there were two numbers, and they were separate from each other, which was totally illegal. So they were supposed to be together. So I asked him, I was like, that's illegal, isn't it? It's like, oh yeah, that's illegal. I said, well, can we stop him? Because I wanted to know what's the procedure. What do we say? Where do we, you know what I mean? So, and he's literally sworn at me. It's like, if you want to stop the car, you can apply for a traffic cop. But I'm a police officer. It doesn't matter if I'm a traffic cop or not. Whatever it is, I'm doing policing. So whatever happened on the street, this is my responsibility, right? So he didn't want to stop. Now, my Sarge, I was in the gym, so I could look. I was a profiler as well. I was reading people, so I could see he wanted to ask me something, like on his face, but he was looking for a way to ask me that. He didn't want to be straight, He didn't want his question to be quite straight, if you see what I mean. So, and he was like, when you are busy, you cannot stop on the road. You cannot stop cars on the road, stuff like that. And I was like, what are you talking about? It's like, well, you were with this and that police officer, Valentine, you were with him, and you saw a car, and you wanted to stop the car, and you guys were busy. I said, no, that's a lie. We were not busy. We just went for a patrol, and we were just driving slowly. We were coming back to the station, and I saw the car, and I asked him if we can stop the car because I wanted to know what's the procedure. And he swore at me and said, if I want to stop the car, I can apply to be a traffic cop. That's what happened. So he stayed quiet. See, and police officers, you cannot trust them. It doesn't matter how hypocrite you are. Even if you're a hypocrite, your colleague is a hypocrite too. Or if you're a crook and he is a crook too. Trust me, don't trust no one. I'll tell you, because they will sell you behind your back. Okay, there was a time as well. We were patrolling during the night, and we stopped that car on the beach because cars not supposed to be on the beach. Especially when you see steam on the windows and stuff like that. So which means they are doing things they're not supposed to be doing, or they're smoking, or they're having sex and whatnot. They're not supposed to be doing that because that's like, if people see you, that's kind of the breach of the peace and whatnot. So. Now, you see that car has some few steam on it, so stop it, well, okay. And the guy, my colleague, he's seen whoever was in it. There was a boy and a girl, right? They were sitting and talking, honestly. They were not doing anything weird. And he noticed that he knew the girl. He's like, oh, what are you doing here? And blah, 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 blah. So the conversation going on. And then he told the girl, don't worry, because apparently he knew the girl's father. He said, don't worry, your secret is thing with me. I'm not gonna tell anybody. Your secret is safe with me. And I look at him because many times I call him, something happened in a station, and when we go in a different station, see, that's the other thing you need to know. When you see a police going around, it doesn't mean like they are working, they are patrolling. That's why they miss so many things. You know, they don't want to stop any cars as such. So as I said, unless they haven't filled paperwork for like few days, and then they have to stop somebody just to show that they are working. So they go in different stations to gossip, to sit down, feet on table, eating donuts, drinking coffee. They group themselves, you know, like the psychopath, like, you know, like the, how'd you call them? I forgot to call them. You know, when you go with your rehabilitation, you know, when you have drug problem or alcohol problem, you go and sit in a circle and tell your problem and shit. So this is how they sit, and they talk, they laugh, you know, until they get a call. And they get a call, they take all their time. They're not in a hurry. That's why when they go in the, at the place where whatever problem's happening, the thing is already over because they took their time. But anyway, so that's to tell you a bit of how police officers are. Now, when we saw that girl, he told the girl, don't worry, I'm not going to tell to anybody your secret and stuff like that. Honest to God, like honestly, I just don't know what kind of hypocrite is that guy is. As soon as we left her, literally 10 seconds later, he rang. Apparently the girl's father is in the police as well. You know, she's an inspector, or I don't know what he is. He literally rang one of our colleagues and said, like, guess who did I see? It's this and that girl. The father is this and that. You know, then we went to a different station. There were like 8 police officers there. Then he told everybody. Then he went to our Sarge. Then he told the Sarge. He literally told everybody he knew. And he just promised he's not going to tell to no one. So now, don't you think the father going to hear about it? Honestly, you cannot trust no one. There's so many hypocrites in there. You would see that. You will, like, honestly, you will peel your eyeball. Like, shocked. I was shocked when I was like, what the fuck? He just promised he's not gonna tell no one, and he's telling the whole congregation, the whole ancestors and whatnot. You know, yeah. So I experienced quite a lot of crap. Like in the police, they are more racist. They tell you like, oh, we don't tolerate discrimination and racism and shit like that. Trust me, there are more racism and discrimination in the police station itself than outside. People, they choose to who to talk and whatnot, but they will be like, smile at you, hiya. But trust me, behind the hiya, there's like, if I would have a gun, I would shoot you straight in the face, and you don't have to do anything. They just don't like you. Honestly, that's how they are. You know. Trust me, they don't really work. They tell you they are really busy. They tell you this work is really, you know, you can be depressed with the job because there's that many things to do. Trust me, there's not many things to do. You can see yourself. You don't see nobody on the road. If they are on the road patrolling, they are sitting on their phone or chatting to each other. This is what they are doing. If you see a car that is one police officer in it, I'm telling you, they're not good. They cannot do shit. Even if you drive fast, they can come. They can, you know, put blue lights and whatnot, stop you. You don't have to be scared because they cannot give you any fine. They have to have somebody with them. Collaboration, they call it. You know, they have to have somebody with them to give you a fine. The only thing they can say is just make sure you don't drive fast again, this and that. They cannot do nothing. They cannot give you a fine. They cannot give you nothing. Okay, just an advice. That's all they can do. So you don't have to be scared. If you see one police officer, drive fast as much as you want. You know, as fast as you want, honestly. And if you got in a fight, run. Don't wait for police officers, because trust me, they will take all their time. They will make sure that when the fight is over, you know, if you see a police officer there when there is a fight, what a miracle. You know, it's honestly, if you don't like working, Now I tell you, if you don't like working, you like sitting down, get how much they're getting now? They start, I think, $3,000 a month, or what is it? No, $2,000. I don't know, something like that. Anyway, if you like sitting down, getting money, getting paid for it, you don't really like working, you don't really like moving, the job is made for you. If you're a hypocrite, or you like selling your friends, hand it back, the job is made for you. You're more than welcome to join. You don't have to be scared. It's not a difficult thing, and you don't have to be smart to get the job either. You don't have to pass any exam to get the job either. So they are desperate. You apply, you get the job. I mean, trust me, I know what I'm talking. Probably even got worse now. Probably got a lot more easier now, because it was already easy when I got. Because there were people that couldn't run. Even if you have 56 years old, you can still become a police officer. There were people, as long as they said you can run. But you can run, yeah. But if you get somebody that's actually really strong, if you see my body, like I'm muscly, like you're 56 years old, would you be able to stand face to face with me? No, absolutely not. Especially me, who have a background of US Navy. Do you think you have a chance? Absolutely not. Now think about the amount of, forget about the US Navy experience and whatnot, the technique, the fight. I'm a kickboxing champion and stuff like that. But forget about all that. Like, you meet few Polish people or Russian, those guys are huge. They don't have any fight technique and things like that. But if they slap you, you will probably land on the floor and not opening your eyes again. You don't need any. They don't need any skills. But if you are 56, and those police officers nowadays, they are very tiny, they are very small, thin as cardboard. Their shoes are bigger than them. Their hats, like their head goes through the hats, like without any problem. Honestly, because they are that skinny, that small, like their body has no proportion whatsoever. Or they are really fat. Or honestly, a police officer is supposed to be like somebody who can, like, the height, the size. When they stand on the street, people will be like kind of intimidated, I'm not gonna do anything. It's like me and another colleague, we were both mostly, when we stop somewhere, people won't really cause a lot of hassle whatsoever, because they know they're not gonna get away with it. But when other police officers, like small, tiny females and stuff like that, or men, they keep going, because they know those guys are nothing. They can't do nothing. That's why police officers got beat up. So yeah, that's my experience. Probably there are a lot of things as well I can say, but I forgot. But trust me, if you want to be a police officer, go ahead, feel free. You don't need big things. You don't need huge experience or special skills or bachelor degree or anything like that. Any job you have right now, you can become a police officer. If you don't like working, happy days. The job is made for you, because they don't really work. So I hope, guys, that podcast helped you. If you have any questions whatsoever, just ask me, put some comments and whatnot, and I'll help you, no problem. Alright, so yes, and until next time, so I say bye for now.